It is the start of a new year, all eyes on Obamacare. Not so much on the enrollment numbers anymore, but on all the personal data that's possibly been breached through the website. Can you believe the government doesn't have to tell you if your information was stolen? Can you believe that? Some say clearly that's got to change. Tennessee Congressman Diane Black is one of them. The hits just keep on coming with Obamacare. This I was really surprised about. What can you do to change this?
I have a bill, and fortunately, our leader has dedicated time this upcoming week to make sure that this legislation does get passed, or at least a form of this legislation that would require the federal government to do just what our exchanges at the state level are required to do and what the private sector is required to do. If someone's information is breached, it should be the responsibility of the federal government to let those individuals know that so that they can take the proper measures.
I mean, you mentioned that everybody else has to report to you if your information has been hacked, whether it's a private company or it's the state websites. How did this happen that wasn't part of the law?
Well, that's a very good question. We know from testimony in various committees that the administration, and in particular Kathleen Sebelius, has said that there were experts who recommended it, but they did not include it in the final rules. And so that should have been included. It was a decision that was made. It's not as though it was just something that was forgotten. It was intentional that they would not include this. And as you have already said, some of this is a matter of money. Some of it is a matter of time. But we have a bill that's going to require that to be done. It is absolutely necessary. There have already been 33 different security incidences that have happened. And there's more yet to come because
you said there's
this website was not built well to begin with. 33 that we know of.
I was going to say,
yes.
That number sounds incredibly low to me. It's very hard for me to believe that everyone in the world knows how vulnerable this site is. And then it's been up for this amount of time, and there's only been 33. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's been 33,000 or 3 million. I mean, it's hard for me to believe there's been 33. Do you think we just don't have all the facts?
Yes. Notice that's what I said, is that's what we know of.
Yeah.
We don't know that there may have been more, but this site has not been secured as experts had recommended. And going back and doing that now is very difficult. I had one person who is educated in this area tell me that trying to redo a website to make it secure is like having a car where you've built the shell and now you have to put all of the guts into it. It's really almost impossible to do.
No, absolutely. And we've had many experts on the show that said it's like having a house with no foundation. I mean, whatever analogy you use, it's almost impossible to fix it. So realistically, what do you think can be done? Because it does seem clear that if we're going to continue with this system, a new website needs to be built, and then maybe everybody's transferred to it or something. Fixing this one isn't going to do the trick from a security perspective.
Well, certainly that would be a recommendation from people who are more educated on how to do a website and the security measures than I am, but everything I'm reading is telling me that it's not possible to fix this. However, in the meantime, it should be incumbent upon the federal government to be responsible to let people know when their data has been breached so that they can do what's necessary to protect themselves from identity theft and cyber security.
Yeah, and I know that Majority Leader Cantner has taken up this issue as well. What do you think are the odds that you're going to be able to add this on? Because there are a lot of problems with the website right now. So to get people to focus on this, that it doesn't have to be reported to you when your information has been hacked, could be difficult.
I can't imagine anyone, any legislator, any congressman saying that they don't feel that this is necessary to protect the people that they represent. I absolutely think that this is going to pass. And we'll pass it over to the Senate and see what they have to say about it. But again, I don't think that my constituents would be very happy with me if I didn't push forward to make sure that their most personal, sensitive information, their date of birth, their social security numbers, their addresses, telephone numbers, all those things that are contained in that. And then we've got all these navigators that are out there signing people up that don't have to have security background checks.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me that we wouldn't be requiring the federal government to be responsible for data breaches.
In the meantime, I mean, what would you be saying to people? Because I've had security experts on the show who've said that they would tell members of their family not to go onto the website and not to sign up and not to enter their information. Would you make a statement that strong at this point?
I would be very concerned about putting my information out there. And that's all I will say is they'll have to make that decision, and they'll have to weigh whether they think that their information is safe enough and that they feel that this is the time that they really need to do what they need to do for the insurance. But I just would caution them that we cannot assure them that this information, number one, is not going to be hacked. And then number two, if it were, that they're even going to be notified.
They'll even know about it, right? Yeah. I mean, your
Yes,
information could have
right.
already been stolen and you have no idea. Nobody has the obligation to tell you. I just can't believe that. Congressman, thanks for coming on the show, and thank you for shedding light
You're
on this
very
issue.
welcome.